friend. Welcome back. This is the Daily Spark. I am James, and I am sitting here with my second cup of tea.
And I am Mia. I just watched a huge dark cloud roll in. It looks like the sky is about to break open.
That stormy weather is actually perfect for today's topic. It sets a very moody, dramatic tone, right?
It really does. You know, learning English can feel like a storm sometimes. You study hard, but then you freeze when someone talks to you.
That sudden freeze is so real. It feels like hitting a hidden wall. People often think that talking about big, serious events in English is too hard. They worry they don't have the right words for heavy topics.
But actually, the vocabulary for big historical events is very useful for everyday life.
We will explore the dramatic story of the Titanic while learning how to talk about unexpected disasters in English.
I love that. We're taking a massive historical event and making it usable. You'll be able to use these phrases at work or with friends.
Exactly. The best way to learn is through stories, and this is one of the most famous stories in the world.
It has everything: ambition, tragedy, and some really tough lessons.
So, grab your tea or your coffee and get comfortable.
Let's step back in time to the year 1912. Have you ever felt completely confident about something only for it to go terribly wrong?
Oh, that is a painful question. Yes, absolutely. I once tried to fix my own laptop. I was so sure of myself.
Fixing electronics yourself, that is incredibly brave.
Brave and foolish. I ended up deleting all my files. The screen just went black. I stared at it in total silence.
That black screen is the ultimate sign of defeat. But that feeling of overconfidence is universal, isn't it?
It really is. We build things up in our minds. We think our plans are perfect and nothing can stop us.
And that is exactly what happened with the Titanic. It was not just a big boat, it was a floating palace.
People called it the ship of dreams. They were so proud of the engineering, they thought they beat nature.
Beating nature is a dangerous game to play. The builders actually believed the ship was unsinkable.
That word, unsinkable, is so heavy now. It's full of tragic irony.
It really is. When you call something unsinkable, you're daring the universe.
And the universe always answers, doesn't it? This story sticks with us because it's about human pride.
Yes, it's the ultimate story of ignoring the warning signs. And we all do that in our own lives, in smaller ways.
We ignore the weird sound our car makes. Or we put off studying until the night before the big test.
Putting things off is my personal specialty. But today, we're going to look at what happens when the stakes are higher.
We'll look at the timeline of that freezing April night. And we'll pick up some very powerful English phrases along the way.
These phrases are not just for history books. They're for any time life throws a giant ice block in your path.
A sudden breakup, a lost job, or a canceled flight. Disasters come in all sizes. The words we use are the same.
I am ready to dive into this. It's a sad story, but important.
Let's look at how it all started. The beginning of the end.
I remember packing my bags when I first moved to London. I stood at the crowded train station, and I felt so full of hope.
A huge new chapter for you, right?
Exactly. I mean, that feeling of beginning a grand, exciting adventure. In English, we call that getting ready to set sail.
To set sail literally means a boat leaving the dock.
But emotionally, it feels so much bigger than just moving.
It feels like stepping confidently into a beautiful dream. You leave the safe harbor behind. You chase the unknown horizon.
That is exactly how those passengers on the Titanic felt.
They had no idea a terrible tragedy was waiting for them.
They felt so incredibly safe. They were told the ship was state-of-the-art.
State-of-the-art. I really love using this phrase. It means the absolute newest, best technology available anywhere.
Right. Emotionally, it feels like holding the future in your hands.
Like buying the newest, most expensive smartphone on the market. You feel totally invincible holding it, you know?
Exactly. You hold that shiny new phone. You honestly think it will never ever break or crash. You've had that feeling of buying something totally cutting edge, right?
I know I have, but even the very best technology can fail terribly. The Titanic was famously built not to sink.
Honestly, they literally called it the unsinkable ship.
They believed that marketing so much. They did not pack enough lifeboats for everyone to survive.
It is just heartbreaking. Overconfidence is a dangerous thing.
Well, let's turn this into a quick use it tomorrow tip.
Yes, if your company launches a brand new modern software system, you can tell your boss, our new system is state of the art. I really love that. It makes your everyday English sound so poetic.
Poetic, sure, but reality is rarely a beautiful poem, is it?
True. All that wonderful hope faded pretty fast for the Titanic.
It really did. I mean, they actually received 6 different ice warnings that day.
6 warnings. Imagine getting a serious warning message. And you say, I am paying attention at it.
Paying attention at it. That sounds like staring blindly at a wall.
Exactly. It sounds so unnatural. You do not pay attention at something.
You pay attention to it. You have to use the word to.
This phrase feels very active, you know? It's not just hearing a sound.
I agree. It feels like physically leaning in. You're giving your complete focus.
Well, the radio operators were exhausted. They were busy sending rich passengers personal messages.
So they didn't pay attention to the crucial ice warnings.
They just brushed them off. That's our next key phrase.
Brush off. I want you to imagine actual dust on your jacket sleeve.
You just casually wipe it away. You flick it off quickly.
Emotionally, brush off feels incredibly dismissive. It feels a bit arrogant, honestly.
You're telling someone this doesn't matter at all. You're ignoring them.
But it really did matter. It mattered more than anything.
If they had listened, they might have avoided the tragedy entirely.
Instead, the ship hit the iceberg. Absolute panic started spreading everywhere.
People were completely confused. A quick rescue was totally impossible in the dark.
The worst part, they had lifeboats for only half the passengers.
Imagine standing on that freezing, tilted deck, knowing there's zero space for you.
Think about that for a second.
It's a heavy story, but let's try to use these phrases tomorrow.
Right. Let's say a coworker gives you annoying feedback. Don't just brush it off immediately.
Exactly. Pay attention to their words first. See if they have a point.
Then make your own decision. It's just good communication.
If only the Titanic's crew had practiced that good communication.
Seriously. Instead, they were completely blind to the real danger.
Imagine you're driving on a dark, quiet country road.
Just cruising along. You're relaxed, listening to some music.
Exactly. Then a huge deer jumps directly into your headlights.
You slam on the brakes. Your heart is pounding.
That sudden, terrifying surprise, that's when something appears out of nowhere.
It's such a visual phrase. It feels like magic, but a very bad magic trick, you know?
Exactly. Like the object was invisible and suddenly it exists.
The iceberg appeared out of nowhere for those poor lookouts.
Well, imagine a fast bicycle zooms past you today. What would you say?
I would definitely yell. I really hate being startled.
Me too. But honestly, the actual collision was surprisingly quiet.
Yeah, most passengers barely felt a tiny bump.
They just felt a slight vibration under their feet.
They had no idea the ship was starting to sink.
I mean, there was absolutely zero panic up top.
Right, people were literally playing with the ice chunks.
But deep down below, workers saw the rushing water.
They knew they had to sound the alarm.
That phrase carries so much weight. It feels incredibly urgent.
It's a heavy phrase. It demands immediate attention.
Right. It means you must warn everybody about a danger.
You sound the alarm so people can actually survive.
It's never a polite memo. It's a loud shout.
So, here's your mission for tomorrow. Try using these. Did your boss drop a massive project on your desk? Project on your desk?
You can complain. Say, this extra work came out of nowhere.
Or, what if the office internet completely stops working?
Sound the alarm. That is a true modern emergency.
But sounding the alarm only works if you actually have a solid escape plan.
And the Titanic honestly had the worst escape plan in modern history.
I say it was just terrible planning. They barely had enough boats for half the passengers on board.
Well, I completely disagree. I think it was pure arrogance. They truly believed the ship could never sink.
I see your point there. Listeners, what do you think? Was it bad math or just a case of deadly pride?
Whatever the reason, it led to an absolute tragedy. Because very quickly, they started to run out of lifeboats.
Run out of. This is such a useful phrasal verb.
It feels incredibly empty and desperate, you know? It means your supply is completely gone. There is nothing left.
Right? If you run out of milk, you just go to the store. It's a totally normal, everyday problem.
But running out of safety options in the freezing ocean, that feeling is like hitting a terrifying brick wall.
Exactly. So they had to make some impossible choices. The rule on the deck became women and children first.
This phrase carries such a heavy emotional weight today. It's not just an old nautical rule.
No, it feels like the ultimate human sacrifice. You're putting vulnerable people ahead of your own life.
Especially when hoping for a fast rescue seemed completely impossible. I mean, the sheer bravery required for that is staggering.
It really makes you think about human nature, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. But let's bring this back to your daily life. A much safer daily life, of course.
Right? I dare you to try this tomorrow in a harmless situation.
Ooh, I love a good language challenge.
If someone reaches for the last donut at work, block them. Say very seriously, "Excuse me, women and children first."
That is hilarious. Your coworkers will be so confused. Or you can just practice run out of.
Yes, next time your phone battery dies, announce it loudly. "I have run out of power. Sound the alarm."
If a dead phone causes that much panic, imagine the actual Titanic aftermath.
Exactly. The survivors did not just need a quick battery charge.
They needed a massive rescue operation in freezing water. It was pure chaos.
You know, it is a very weird part of human culture.
What do you mean?
We often need a huge disaster before we actually change the rules.
Honestly, that is so true.
It took this specific event to create international ice patrols.
Right. The Titanic will always go down in history.
It completely changed maritime laws forever.
Go down in history. This phrase feels huge. It feels almost heavy.
Exactly. It feels permanent. You don't use it for a normal Tuesday.
You definitely don't use it for a good sandwich you ate yesterday.
That ham sandwich will go down in history. No, that sounds ridiculous.
We use it for massive events that shape our world completely.
Things people will still talk about for centuries.
Think about a moment in your own life that changed everything for you. Think about that for a second.
Hopefully, those big life changes mean we learn a lesson.
That is a very useful phrase, learn a lesson.
It feels a bit painful, honestly. It implies you made a huge mistake first.
I mean, you do not learn a lesson by being completely perfect.
True. The shipping companies definitely had to learn a tough lesson here.
They've realized you can't just rely on pure luck to survive.
You need actual strict safety rules and enough lifeboats for everyone.
So, how could our listeners use these phrases tomorrow?
Next time you make a silly mistake at work, just own it.
Tell your coworkers you learned a lesson.
Like, I learned a lesson about microwaving leftover fish in the office break room.
That awful smell will definitely go down in history.
It really will. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Let's take a deep breath and review the vocabulary we used today.
First up, you might have heard us say the word tragedy. Think of that heavy, sinking feeling in your chest when something truly awful happens.
Exactly. It is not just spilling your morning coffee.
Oh,
It is a deeply sad event, a story that ends in tears.
it leaves a permanent mark on everyone involved.
For your use it tomorrow moment, try this. The sudden closing of the historic local library was a real tragedy for the neighborhood.
Next, you might have heard us say the word survive. Imagine walking through a terrible, freezing storm.
Oh,
The wind is howling, but you keep walking and you make it home safely.
You are still standing. You pushed through a really tough challenge.
You absolutely did not give up.
Use it tomorrow at work in a lighthearted way, like, I just need a massive cup of coffee to survive this Monday morning.
I've definitely used that exact sentence.
And while you're surviving that meeting, remember some of our freezes from today.
Right. Like if your boss drops a huge task on your desk totally out of nowhere.
Don't just brush it off and ignore it.
Exactly. You need to handle it before you set sail for the weekend.
Okay, back to the words. Speaking of sudden problems, you might have heard us say panic. Picture this. You reach into your pocket for your phone and it's completely empty.
Your heart races, your mind goes totally blank, your breathing gets fast.
That sudden rush of fear where you can't think straight, that's panic. It's the opposite of staying calm.
Try using it tomorrow like, don't panic, but I think we just boarded the wrong train.
That's the absolute worst feeling, but hopefully someone will help you.
Which brings us to our next word, rescue. You might have heard us say this when talking about the lifeboats and the other ships.
Imagine being stuck in a broken elevator for hours. The doors finally pry open and a firefighter reaches out a hand.
It's that feeling of immense, overwhelming relief. A hero pulls you out of danger.
Use it tomorrow in a fun way. Thanks for bringing me lunch today. You really came to my rescue.
Food is always a rescue in my book. Finally, the heaviest word of the day. You might have heard us say, sink. Imagine throwing a heavy, solid stone into a deep, dark lake. It goes down, down, down.
Gravity pulls it to the bottom. It disappears under the water. It does not float.
It's a simple physical action, but it feels so final.
For your use it tomorrow example, you can use it physically. Like, if we don't fix this leak, the rowboat is going to sink.
Or you can use it metaphorically for a feeling. My heart started to sink when I saw the terrible grade on my final exam. Learning a new language can sometimes feel like a slow disaster. You make a mistake in public, and your confidence just sinks to the bottom.
That public mistake feeling is awful. You just want to hide. But remember, a mistake is not a shipwreck, it's just a splash.
That's a wonderful way to look at it. You dry off and keep going. We promise to explore the dramatic story of the Titanic while learning how to talk about unexpected disasters in English.
And you did an amazing job navigating these heavy waters with us today. Here's your challenge for this week. Try to use survive in a funny way.
Like surviving a long bus ride or surviving a boring movie. Notice how it makes your story sound just a little more dramatic and fun.
We would love to hear from you in the comments below. What's a small disaster you survived recently?
Did you burn your dinner? Did you send a text to the wrong person?
Oh, sending a text to the wrong person is pure panic.
I cannot wait to read your stories in the comments.
It always makes me feel better to know I'm not the only one.
Next time, you know that frustrating moment when you're telling a story and suddenly forget the most important word, leaving everyone staring at you in awkward silence?
Oh, my brain just froze thinking about it. I hate that feeling.
We'll figure out how to handle that exact moment. This has been the Daily Spark Radio. Take care of yourselves.
See you next time, friends.